Okay. Well, this has been a little bit of a crazy experiment. I was going to try to go live tonight for the new moon, but I don't have a strong enough signal here, which is some of the challenges of living in a rural setting. But it looks very dark, so I'm actually going to make some light adjustments because my little ring lamp looks like it's about to die. It doesn't hold a charge very long. It was just a cheapie. Anyways, here I am. Happy new moon in Capricorn, and I ended up signing on tonight with a little bit of a heavy heart of just not even a little bit, a lot of a heavy heart. I'm just heartbroken over things, and as I know many of us are, it can feel incredibly powerless watching what's happening in Palestine and I don't mean to single out children, although it is true for most people that to see it happening to children is particularly painful. But I just, my way, and I don't think this effort is necessarily going to change what's happening in the world, but it's being true to myself to speak to it here, even though probably very few people will see this video. It's important to who I am to speak my heart on it, that I think it's unacceptable, that it's heartbreaking, that it's soul crushing, that the machine of this type of patriarchal violence and genocidal violence and colonial violence is just too much to bear at times. And I'm from the ancestry that is a part of the world that has started to be carrying this out in the last 500 years, and it's just as many of us are. And I pray, for one thing, that my words just carry forward the truth, and that they're not, I don't think I'm some world agent for change necessarily here. I'm speaking from a very humble place. I'm just one person. I am a therapist, though, and I understand intergenerational trauma and genetic trauma, and I have a grasp in some ways based on my training of what we're doing to ourselves and to people by participating in this. And the Biden administration is complicit in genocide. They are carrying out genocide, and I just have to say it and say what it is. And may my words have prayers on them that are heard by God and by the God of Abraham particularly, that we're crying out for help. That's all I feel like I can do right now. Like I said, I don't think I'm changing the world by doing this. It's just that I can't just come on here and do a card reading without speaking to it. It's not true to who I am. But I also realize I'm just one white Western woman, and I do carry out acts of resistance, from being in the streets to speaking truth to power. Sometimes it's been in a very overt way like that, which can feel a lot more catalytic for me. But lately, just due to my own life and personal trauma, I've switched into writing letters. So I've been writing letters where I feel it counts. And most of my letter writing goes to imprisoned people. It doesn't go to legislators, though I do selectively write to people in power over these issues as well. And there's a meme out there somewhere that says the softest paw can be a claw, and it shows a cat practicing resistance, right, against fascism by doing something with a pen and ink. And that helps comfort me when I feel like I'm failing by not being in the streets. So anyways, I'm sending my love and my energy and my prayers to Palestinian people and my solidarity, and I'm crying out to God that this ends, and crying out to world leaders. And I guess I'll just leave it there before I make a fool of myself or whatever. So my intention was actually to do a point in time reading for us on this new moon, to just harness the new moon and Capricorn energy. So actually what I need to do here first is pull out the Fool card. And I can't quite remember what the Fool looks like in this deck, so it might take me a minute. I should have already done that, sorry. You're gonna have to bear with me while I look for this card that I can't remember what I'm looking for. even though I love this deck, I love it. It's a collage-based deck. I can't remember the artist's name, but it's got a decent amount of levers. I've seen it in other card readers' layouts, mostly on Instagram. I haven't seen it used often in the handful of YouTube card readers I watch. All right, the Fool. Come on, Fool card. Where are you? Help me out here so we can keep it pushing, keep it moving. If I get through the end and I haven't found it, I'll do another deck of what I'm looking for, so I don't keep us waiting too long. I might go right past it. I passed it. I'm sorry. Okay, well, let me just try this pile one more time. Maybe I didn't actually look in this pile yet. No, I did, because I saw that Page of Swords already. There it is. There's the Fool. Okay. So like I said, this is a point in time layout. Can we please have a reading for this new moon energy and what it's important for the collective of people who watch this, take the time to watch this? What are some helpful messages? And in return, I hope they'll send prayers to this point in time of me doing this reading for Palestine and for a ceasefire. Even if you're praying back in time, that's okay. I don't think time exists in some ways in terms of the power of talking to God. What is a message for us of hope or of wisdom or of guidance for this new moon in Capricorn energy? And if it needs to be specific for somebody, that needs to hear something really meaningful to them personally, so be it. If it's fit to be guidance for many people watching, then that's great too. Point in time for this new moon in Capricorn. Point in time for us, for the new moon in Capricorn. What things can lift our hearts up or bring us some pleasure, honestly? I don't even, joy and pleasure. I'm craving both of those things right now, and that's not to dismiss what's happening on a traumatic level in this dimension, but I'm really craving the capacity to hang on to my personal joy at times and ability to find beauty. I can always do that in nature usually and in my close relationships. Okay, point in time. Gosh, okay, so this is going to be a love reading. Love is very present here. Wow, you're really, for viewer, whoever, I'm going to go ahead and claim this reading for everyone watching it as an uplifting message of love that you're hoping to hear. I'm going to state that this is that for us. And it's really beautiful, and I think you're really going to like this reading. I'm already feeling a really fucking awesome energy coming off the cards. It's gorgeous. I'm so glad I picked this deck. So it's going to give us a really nice half and half of context leading up to this point in time of the new moon in Capricorn. And then beyond the present moment, a lot of what's coming ahead for us on this timeline that we're on. As if you're catching this reading, we're in a little wormhole right here, I'm going to just state, of this timeline of this layout. So we're all sharing it in this loving energy that's coming off of it. So there was recently a really bold feeling of love, a surrender around a love offer, because it's a Knight of Cups and then a Knight of Cups, meaning a lover. For me personally, as a card reader, almost always a Knight of Cups is specifically a lover of some kind. And a romantic lover, usually. It's rare for me that it can be a message of like a family member sending you a message of love, like a letter in the mail or something, but really, for the most times that this card shows up for me, it's around romantic love. And there are other cards about romantic love present. So some kind of a move, a bold move, was made in love by a Knight of Cups. And immediately following that bold move was like a massive surrender, a Ten of Swords. So that's intriguing. That's a lot of intense energy, like right back to back. This major gesture or move towards love. And then immediately after, almost like a major feeling of sacrifice or total surrender. The Ten of Swords, often people dread seeing it. I have a little bit of a different relationship with it, of it being like a spiritual surrender. And there's comfort that comes for me with that level of surrender, where I just realize 100% I'm not in control here. And I need to just do what I can to surrender any attachment or need to cling or hang on, right? And then beyond this surrender, this bold, excuse me, I'm getting over that cold. Beyond this bold move in love, and then this complete surrender right beyond it, that's not a weak energy. It's super strong right out the gate. And then beyond that is this Page of Wands. So like really good news. So wow, this is like, like really wild fluctuating energy of like bold move in love, total surrender, really good news. Like it's almost feels manic a little bit, right? Like you might have been feeling up into this new moon like you are a little bit on a high and low roller coaster of your emotions and your physical experience as well. Not just what's going on inside you, but what's happening in your reality has been quite intense in terms of the shifts. So good news coming in after a total surrender of like almost that has a sad element to it. Then this really good news and fiery, passionate communication and like excitement and joy again. A Page of Wands is a very joyful spark of life kind of card. So that's a swing back in the positive energy feeling. And then the Four of Pentacles, which to me says that started to stabilize. So you might be coming through that time now and things are starting to calm down a little bit. But you went through the super highs and lows that might have happened in kind of a rapid succession of like, hooray, oh my God, what? You know, like it's like that kind of energy. And then now the Four of Pentacles shows up energetically to stabilize and contain what's happening here. And maybe ground it a little bit, ground it from that chaotic shifting. And then a rebirth now beyond that grounding is occurring. So something about these rapid shifts and roller coaster type experience of emotions and physical reality has now broken through into a new beginning for you as it has grounded and stabilized. So that's exciting. I don't think this is a surprise, like, and what you're about to step into, because here's the Fool right here, the Fool card. Right beyond the Fool is like the fucking Garden of Eden. It's the Ten of Cups. So it's like everything that you want in love. So this night, this bold move that you have made in love, even though it came right after it with this intense, like, you might have been really trying to kind of hang on as everything was changing so quickly and so out of your control. As it has started to ground in now and calm down, you're having like a opening up into the new life. The awakening card right before the Fool is super beautiful. It's like fresh new energy, like spring, dawn, new life, like hope. It's everything I was hoping would come through for us. So as a group, we're coming into something really as I'm saying you, I'm remembering we're saying we. This has been true for me. I've had definitely in the last, I would say, like, couple months, some really incredible moments of healing, then followed by some intense moments of healing, of like painful, like purging of sorrow or whatever. So it's been a little bit intense for me. So this applies to me. So I'm going to try to remember to say we, because I set and claimed that this was going to be a we kind of layout. So we're all about to step into some kind of 10 of cups again here, of like really the sun after the storm, the rainbow that shows up through the silver or through the dark clouds, right? Like really beautiful new beginning, new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new, right? Like really happy, joyful stuff. Because right beyond then, that Ace of Cups, or sorry, 10 of Cups is an Ace of Wands and a 2 of Cups. So we better hang on, because there's some crazy as love energy coming through here for this. So stepping into a new life, 10 of Cups, Les. So this is like all your dreams coming true almost, in the world of your emotions and the world of your like, wow, I can't believe this turn of events almost. It's like, it has this feeling of just total joy. Like I remember a few weeks ago, through this period of time, when I woke up, sometimes I get like guidance, spiritual guidance that I trust very much when it happens in that liminal space when I'm waking up in the morning. I sometimes get it too when I'm drifting off, but it's more when I'm waking up, so that I retain it and explore it right then. And it happened, and it was, I didn't need to explore it. It was just a message, basically. But I heard a voice as I was waking up in my ear, and it was a very sweet, like, I mean, maybe somebody would say it was hearing voices, which I'm fine with that, but it was a voice saying, you're going to be so happy. And I remember waking up to that and coming all the way awake, and that had just been whispered to me as if someone had said it right as I was waking up, and it was really cool. It has this kind of feeling, like something's about to really make you and make us happy. It's new beginning, like the Fool, the Awakening, and the Ace of Wands, plus a 10 of Cups. I mean, that's like, hang on, this is about to blow your mind kind of energy. So it's really, really cool. Really cool. And then the 2 of Cups. So there's also a magician here, and I'm not sure how the magician figures into this. Like, there might be a little bit of tension here around it, because it's so abundant and so much and so beautiful and so like almost more than is anyone has the capacity to take in. I'm kind of feeling there's maybe some vulnerability that something might go wrong, like because of your inability to cope with it almost. It's so good. So I could see this being something like when you're trying to learn to receive in your life, if you've always been someone who gives, and it gives to like a codependent degree where it's really about your own ego and your own like need to be needed, or it comes from a little bit of a shadow side of you, codependency, and it's always under this guise of like, I'm benevolent and I'm giving, but it has a dark side where it can encourage, you want someone to depend on you, or there's weird layers, right, to codependency. And that's kind of what I'm feeling right here, is that you might be so kind of unprepared for the level of receiving that's about to happen to you, that you might be pressed a little bit to let it in, because it's not what you're accustomed to getting. That's what I'm feeling about why this magician is here. It came in the reverse right next to the 2 of Cups, so I'm kind of seeing that there might be a little bit of like, just possibility of making a misstep. I don't want to make anyone feel like they're going to ruin it. They're not. It's nothing like that, but it's just recognizing the humanness in all of us, that sometimes when suddenly life hands you like everything you dreamed, we're just humans. We kind of, we can fuck up at a time like that maybe, and like spend all the lottery money or whatever. It's stuff like that. So you got to watch out for something like that kind of dynamic here, maybe. Yeah, because then right beyond that is the strength card. I should have looked at the next card as I was saying that, but luckily it's harmonized with what I just said. You're gonna have to the Chariot's not here, but it makes me think of the Chariot. Like as you're racing to your success, maybe after a battle or racing to your victory parade or whatever. Trying to control a chariot took a lot of physical strength, a lot of mental focus, especially in battle, right? To try to control these two wild horses and you and the insanity of the events or whatever. It's almost like as this all comes into being and it's so much, almost like more than you ever dreamed it could be, you're going to have to kind of hang on and be strong a little bit through that kind of reception of what you're receiving. It keeps coming up an example of winning the lottery. And maybe you're about to win the lottery. That could totally be legit here for someone. And if you do win the lottery, please comment here anonymously and say, you were right, I won the lottery. But, or also comment on any other way that this might come through for you in this mind-blowing way. Because I would love to know, because it's pretty wild and amazing and magical, and you're going to be kind of hanging on through it almost in this excited, happy, but holy shit kind of way. Because then right beyond that is the Ace of Cups and another rapid shift of communication for the positive. So a lot of fast-paced change. It's almost all wands and cups. That's something to be aware of. And that's why I'm feeling that almost frenetic pace. There's only one Pentacles card here to ground in this energy. So that's why there's a little bit of risk involved with this Magician in reverse, is that there's going to be so much breaking through that it's okay. You're just going to have to do something to keep your feet on the ground. You're being called to be strong. It doesn't mean kill your own buzz or I'm not talking about anything like that. But you're going to have to do something or find some way to make sure you're staying grounded. What else? What should we know about this? It feels kind of complete, honestly. This new moon in Capricorn is breaking open some incredible things for us here, in the realm of the heart and in the realm of passion. So new relationships, new beginnings, new passions, new opportunity. I mean, it's just all here. It's new, and that can be overwhelming, even though it's all for the positive. Like another example of that is a huge wedding. Like I've never participated in something like that, but you hear people describe it all the time, that it's like the best day of their life, but it was also very stressful to plan and make all come together. And weddings are huge in many cultures, where some families save forever towards a wedding. It's a really big, important rite of passage culturally. It's an example like that, where even though it's really positive, there's going to be a need to really stay grounded through it, because it's so intense and it's so joyful and it's so much coming through and so much fire energy and new energy. The only thing kind of holding it down for you is this little Four of Pentacles, which is a good solid Four of Pentacles. That's like a stable four corners foundation, grounded to the earth, right? That's good, but it's not like a Emperor or something that might stabilize it even more. It's a four, so that's important too. Maybe that's what I'll get clarity on, is how can we encourage the Four of Pentacles energy to help stabilize this? What's our way? The Four and the Strength card came here together, one on top of the other, right? So they're in a harmonious relationship, I think, of knowing you need to help stabilize this as it starts to happen. I mean, you're not trying to slow it down or control it by any means. You're trying to ground this kind of energy. If you think you can take control, that's a little bit of a little bit off about how you want to look at it. It's not controlling a time like this. It's staying grounded and grounding it in and keeping your focus, right? So tell us about that. How to do that. What's some practical wisdom for that? It's just saying there isn't, this is it. Like I was just saying, this feels almost complete on its own. So when I'm saying what's our advice for helping to ground this in and being strong through this, it's basically just saying, I mean, it's a nice echo here, I'll say that, with the Four of Wands answering my question about the Four of Pentacles. It's saying allow it, welcome in this new community, this new love, this new life, this is a community card. It can be a card of weddings, because it shows a wedding canopy, but it doesn't have to be. Rarely for me as a card reader does this show up saying you're about to go to a wedding, although it has. But this is more about joyful, harmonious union with community. So that's one way to help ground this energy in, is to celebrate in your community that's going to celebrate this kind of thing with you. And when I say we, this might be happening on a really big level. There's so much heart and love and fire pulsing through this, that this could be like a community activism energy of like surging towards success. Like there was that Eye on Palestine post today thanking the South African government for filing this with the United Nations and for making their opening arguments, for doing what they're doing basically. And it's very, very moving, the statement. And if you've ever been backed into a corner by an abuser or a traumatic governing body or anything, police, whatever it is, where you feel like, does anyone fucking care? Like, am I just gonna die alone here or what? Like, for me, it was a child abuse, but it could be any type of that level of power enacted against you bodily and mentally to inflict that kind of terror in your life. Like, I just lost where I was going with that. Sorry. I just went back there a little bit, but yeah, sorry. Anyways, I guess knowing that even though I was reading this kind of court process with the United Nations could take years, but the fact that it's showing on that grand of a scale, we see what's happening and we're filing these motions, and for it to get this far, I also read, is acknowledgement from the United Nations that they see how important it is at this time to take up the case. And so I guess that's where I was going with it, is that this can feel like that kind of hope after a really dark time, after that total surrender of the Ten of Swords, of feeling powerless to do anything, to control anything. This is ushering in this time of fire and love and heart and connection and bonding. So for many of us, it's going to be in romantic love, because that is absolutely represented here with the Ten of Cups, an Ace of Cups, a Two of Cups, and a Knight of Cups. That's love up the wazoo. Romantic love. It's a lot of romantic love. But with all this fire and new beginning, new world, fast communication, need to be strong, need to stay, grounded and focused. I could totally see that being on a grander scale, like socially, as a society, for people who are deeply invested in this entire experience, right? So I think that's about it. Maybe I'll just pull one more. I'm going to pull an animal spirit. What animals are with us through this energy? Who are our animal spirits that are with us on this plane, in this timeline, that are helping the energy of this coming through, and that can be like guides for us and sojourners with us in this experience? Who are they? Let's just greet and acknowledge them. I had some sandhill cranes protect me in my dream space in a really vivid and beautiful way, and I'm not going to share the dream here, but it was spectacular. And now that's why I want to know. I want to thank them and send thanks to them again, because it was really beautiful. And then I'd like to know, like, what animals might be on this with us here. Elephant. Nobility, impressiveness, bonding, self-empowerment, strength, wisdom, recollection, reminiscence, magnificence. That I just have goosebumps. I have chills. This is such a beautiful reading. I want to cry. Hair, which is total abundance and love, like we were just saying, fertility. Hair, my God. Intuition, moonlight, illumination, negotiation, fertility, fortune, plenty, unpredictability, right? The fire of all these wands and newness, right? Trickster traits. That's why we got to watch out at a time like this. Haphazardness. This is so cool, though. I'm just on a high already. Shark. Holy shit. That's awesome. I love sharks, actually, but procrastination, superiority, ruthlessness, magnetism, charisma, credibility, efficiency, manipulation, coldness, inscrutability. So the fact that shark is with us here in this energy, to me, is exciting. And I think it really highlights, though, the level of power that we're talking about and the level of like world conflict being represented, right? With this fertile, fast, haphazard, wise. I mean, there's a lot of, and all you have to do is go look at the news or social media, like all these ideas and unifying ideas and resistance ideas and huge governing bodies, and like it's all really, really intense. And I feel like it's really well shown here in these three animal cards, all the levels of power that are here and present and how they can help us. I mean, I see a shark as an ally. I don't only see a shark in a negative light, just like a snake, right? They have their shadow side and their positive side, just like we do. And just like plants, like something like foxglove, my tattoo here, which is heart medicine, but used improperly can harm the heart, right? So there's a lot of that kind of present here, but so much positive force that it's the pervading kind of feeling here is optimism and ground in with these animals lending their wisdom and their heart to this. It's just really cool, really amazing layout. I'm loving it, kind of. Maybe I'll just pull some from a regular deck of cards and see what comes up here. Because you can read regular playing cards like tarot too, they just don't have the major arcana. Any other energies present that can help us and that can guide us, or that any want to send out a message here? Any other messages? I hope you like this reading. I feel sort of like a goofy, or feel like I'm being goofy or weird or not all the way myself for some reason. It's the energy of this reading. It feels just really spontaneous and fun and beautiful, and it's a big shift from the energy I was in when I first started the reading. So it's also indicative of the level of change and quickness that's here. Diamonds, so that's the 10 of Pentacles. So a 10 of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups, come on, that's like abundant. Like I'm almost starting to feel like my language can't adequately capture the level of energy we're talking about here, because it's just all seems to fall short. Like I should get a thesaurus or something and start trying to find some different words besides amazing and like, but catalytic and abundant and mind-blowing is kind of what's coming through. The 8 of Wands again, so that's here twice now. Fast, swift change and communication and recognition and realization around these new starts. And a 6 of Pentacles, so a rebalancing or a redistribution, a rebalancing of our energy. So where we may have felt like we've been giving and sacrificing or whatever, there's going to be a more even distribution of resource and energy here as well. Those are the takeaway messages, I guess, asking about the last of it. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to pull an oracle card. I'm going to let this be my own card reading other than these animals that I asked to grace us with their presence. I'm not going to pull in oracles. I'm going to let it be my own reading here and my own interpretation. So I'm sending you love. Happy new moon in Capricorn. This reading's kind of mind-blowing, honestly, so thank you much. And take good care. That sounded funny at the end. Take good care.